All right, this is my next episode and saving, I think it's Wanda, the little pulse jet Briggs Stratton carburetor system. Sorry about this camera, I wish I could do better. So there we are. I've got the carburetor spring went into my supplies. I have a lot of this old junk laying around. So here is the correct carburetor spring. It's got a loop on this end. That's going to go on the front. And then what I call the little paper clip is going to hook onto that loop right there. So my little paper clip's going to come in and go pop and hang on to that. And then this loop here on the front of this spring is going to go in that slot right there at the end of my fingernail. It doesn't go to that hole, which I've seen. It doesn't go to that hole. It goes to this oblong slot right there. And then this piece is fixed on some pulse jets, and others it's adjustable. This one is adjustable, so you can control the speed with this. I do not care about that. I treat this like the modern mowers, where so that when it's running, it just runs at the correct speed, and then you turn it off, and it's 0 RPMs or it's the correct RPMs. There's none of this up and down in speed by adjusting this governor spring, which is going to attach here. I think I mentioned this earlier, the way to control that. Briggs Stratton makes it easy for you because they have a bendable piece, this big piece right here that's towards the front. Okay, not this thing. I'm going to bend that up a little bit. This piece right here is going to bend down like that. Okay, so now see it's basically locked into position. So this thing is not really changing that spring tension going this way. It's just sort of in the same position. I could do a little better with this, but that is good enough because it's not stretching that spring any. So let me set my phone down just so you understand how that works. And I'm going to go ahead and clip the spring on here, the loop end to this big oblong slot I showed you. And the way to do that is to kind of get it started and then work the open end in. So I see the end of the spring there. So I'm going to go get it started, then twist around. Okay, so now see it's on there. That spring is in that oblong loop. And now, this piece just fell out. That's this piece right here. Connects to that air vane. The truth is, I don't like the way that looks. I think it's been bent. So it should be sort of in line, but it's not. Let me try and get this bent back. Okay, so the short end, that loop should be a little bigger. Anyway, this is going to connect like that. And then this long end is going to connect to the tank. But let me get this paper clip loop in there. I think that's working like it should. Now this, let me get that on the back side. So now this is going to go into the tank. And I've already tested this tank. Oh, it says ready to test. Well, we're going to test it live. I guess you and me will find out together if it's going to work or not. But it's got a, if it doesn't, you know, I'll get another one of my little tanks out of my supplies. This is a inside of a cereal box that I've turned inside out. These plastic bags are really tough, and I use them all the time. All right, so now I'm going to take this L at the end of that and put this on the tank. Connect the rubber grommet, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle on. All right, now we're going to test this. That seems to be working okay. Let me show you this. Okay, so we angled, get something to point with. So we angled that little L turn on that linkage into that hole. And that L turn on that linkage is in that hole. The governor spring or throttle spring is in place. The paperclip end is connected to that loop. And then I've got this loop hooked into that oblong slot. And so now when the motor's running, it's going to be doing this to this throttle. And so when it's running at the correct speed, it's going to be sort of like that. And then if you were to have the air filter off, you'd look at it, it'd be going, and it's running good. And then if it starts to die because you've hit some thick grass or something, it's going to go this way because the flywheel slows down. And then it pumps a bunch more fuel mixture in there because it's more open. So that's sort of the ideal spot, running speed, if it's just sitting there idling, you know, on the pavement or something. So that's where we are on that. So we got our tank on. We haven't attached it yet. We got our carburetor spring, got our air vane working okay. Let me find some screws to attach this, and this is going to take a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 head screw. And I've got to find my spacer, which is this guy. You don't want to try and put that tank on without either this washer, long washer, or this piece in there, because that protects the tank. So we slide this in here. All right, that's in place. Now let me find a 1/2 inch screw. There's one. That probably came off one of my Pulsar jet tanks. Slide this in here. Get it where it's lined up. That felt like it went in. We'll know now. Let's see. I need an extension. Let me just get this started with the 1/4 inch drive. Just want to get this thing started. Yep. Okay, so it's going in. All right, now I got to find the 3/8 screw. Let's see, one handy. I have to get one. Bear with me, people. Well, okay, that's enough on this segment. When you come back, I'm going to have this tank assembled and tightened. I've just got to find the screw, and you don't want to wait for that. All right, we'll check with you in a few minutes.